Your Spaceship Music Collective. This is Six Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm your host, Dom Maple. Welcome one and all to Six Set Bro, the music and entertainment podcast. On the show, as always, I'm joined by my brother from the Council of the Brothers, Money Mike, aka Michael the Magic, aka Uncle Mike, aka Michelle.
All the nicknames.
Also, we've got the man of mystery himself, the brother, the foreign exchange brother.
That's very good. Do you know what?
We don't know where he's from. His native origins remain a mystery amongst
that's a good call,
listeners and viewers alike. And Andrew Fernandez, because we don't have a funny
name yet.
No,
I don't have a funny name yet.
We got a jam-packed show. And it's always jam-packed. It's always going to be jam-packed. I'm always going to say that it's jam-packed.
Something's always going to happen.
It's going to be all compressed. It's going to be compressed in a very compressed-sized jam sandwich.
Jam-packed jam sandwich.
Jam-packed
jam sandwich.
Yes. We're going to get into a couple things. We're going to get the glorious Wynona Bleach. They dropped a new single called Glimmer. Dang, it's good. We're going to talk about that later. And also, we had some surprise new music drops from System of a Down and Foo Fighters. And Donald Glover tweeted again for the first time in like forever. So we'll break that down.
I didn't actually see that.
Oh yeah, he did. And yeah, boys, I mean, the main thing is that we got Trump out, maybe. Maybe.
It was us.
Don't speak too soon.
Who knows? We did it, kind of.
Nah, it happened.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It is happening.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe good news. Who knows? I mean, it seems pretty definite, but you wouldn't be led to believe that. Who knows? I was following that thing like so much. It was becoming obsessed with it. I can only imagine what you're like if you lived in the United States of America and you had to follow that thing. I'm like checking it all the time. I'm waking up in the middle of the night, checking my phone in a blind sweat panic. I'm like, obviously it matters, but I was like, why am I this attached? I don't know. I really needed to know what was going to happen. But yeah, I was delighted. Fuck Donald Trump. Boo, 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 boo. That's a song.
Yeah, see? Shout out to... my God, what is his name? The guy that you hate.
I hate him. Oh, J.R. Smith? J.R. Smith is a terrible basketball player. Just for anybody who doesn't know, fight me. I don't care. He's hilarious. He's so funny. But I could probably take him on one-on-one. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, at least I play on the court. At least I play within the confines of the court, and JR usually takes shots from the sidelines. So
that's step one.
Do you remember being able to play basketball?
Good times. I miss it so much. I miss it so much. I was thinking about this the other day, and I just have this basketball that just rolls around the trunk of my car, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, I actually have one in the back of my car as well. It's just like
a horrible
the
reminder.
Is like just kicking you every time.
It's like, you're fat. Yeah, guys, I've gained like 10 pounds maybe. Lockdown as
the quarantine 15.
Yeah, that's what they said, but it seems quite accurate. I'm pretty sure I did. Although I don't know if it was a quarantine 15 or just having a baby 15. Being a dad 15.
You got some baby weight.
You gain the baby weight. I mean the woman gains the baby weight while she's having the pregnancy, and then I think
Passes
the
it
father
on.
gains it afterwards. I don't know. That's what happened to me, anyways. I don't know. I was getting in like super good shape the whole way up to the birth of my son, and then it's like, you don't have time anymore. But yeah, I like I can't even remember. I was like, it was something like 153 pounds or something, like pretty much the start of lockdown, just whenever we had Alex, and then yeah, I've just like progressively, like between everything going on, and you're like, everything's crazy, and you got work and you got whatever, and then you can't really go out as much, and yeah, there you go. And I'm like
Listen,
one
you
six
know why.
something now. I can't remember.
You know why? Because you sit down, and Mike, you might be guilty of this too. You watch the Bake Off, you get your treats.
gotta
It's
get
every
the Bake Off.
fucking. You get your treat, you get your buns. You
Does
sit down.
You know
does
what?
anybody else wait to see what week it is? And if it's cake week, you gets a cake. And if it's bun week, you gets a bun.
That's what happens.
I don't know if there's such a thing as
I've
bun
been
week.
being massively disciplined. My treat watching Bake Off has been a tin of Pepsi Max.
Man,
That's
that
it.
doesn't have any calories. That's not a treat.
Exactly. That's it.
That is pure
What-
commitment.
One day we did have custard and cake, but that was like a
Custard
couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Sarah made shortbread for Bake Off last night, but then I couldn't have any because I started calorie counting again.
No, it's too close to Christmas to do that.
I know, dude, but you know what? It's so frustrating because it's like I was really on that train. I was on that, just count the calories. It's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. There's so many apps that can do it for you. You just scan the food on it, and I was happy to do it. And then all of a sudden, see if you just like backslide and you stop, and you're like, I'm pretty sure I can do it now without the app. You're wrong. You can't do it without the app. You need the app. You need to keep track of it so that whenever you see your calorie numbers go into a red, there's just a glaring, horrible,
Stop
bold red
now.
figure
Stop.
being like, and you
Stop
feel
the count.
heavier. You feel the 3 calories heavier, like over the thing. If it's like minus 3 calories for the day, you're like, "Ah, man, I feel it. I feel it in my bones. But yeah, so I'm getting fat. That's kind of what I've been up to the last week. Been gaining. Well, no, I'm actually trying to lose weight. I've lost like 2 pounds in a week. Fuck.
That's Stu's week. What have you been up to, Mike?
I just want to know who you guys think's gonna win Bake Off.
I don't watch it.
Oh, it's gonna be Ermine.
Yes,
Ermine.
yes, that's who we're rooting for as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember now who I forget everyone instantly. After they leave, it's just like they've dropped out of existence in my life. It's like, who? I don't even know
Yeah.
who they are anymore. You don't matter to me because you didn't win.
It just shows how much you actually watch the show. Whenever it's like a week later, it's like, oh, I can't remember who was on it.
I don't know. There was some cakes. That's pretty much all I remember. There was cakes. Paul Hollywood made some comments. Prue wore a weird giant necklace with weird things coming out of it that never make any sense. It always looks like a child's toy that Prue like has around her neck as a necklace, just in case. I feel that's common knowledge, but if you watch Bake Off and you never realize, just look at her necklace attire, neckwear, and just be like, is that a necklace or is it a toy for?
I
a
wonder.
baby?
I wonder. Does she get it from like the same place that rappers get like their big chains
Flavor
from?
Flav.
What is it for, like rappers' children's?
Flavor Flav.
Yeah, maybe.
Big Flavor Flav clock.
He opened a store called Little Babies. Little
Little
L-I-L.
babies. Little babies chains.
Lil Wayne's. Lil Wayne's. And it could
Lil
be, kind of
Wayne's
be like a
chains.
Northern Irish like store,
Lil
like
Wayne's
Lil
chains.
Wayne's.
No Wayne's chains.
Hey, did you hear that Trippie Redd compared himself to Lil Wayne? He said, and I quote from a tweet, I'm like Lil Wayne in real life. I was like, Lil Wayne is from real life? What's wrong with you, Trippie Redd? I don't know. People are weird, man. It's not as bad as whenever Donald Trump called Lil Pump Lil Pimp.
Little pimp.
Did he? That was in his final rallies, and he tried to get some celebrity endorsement, and he couldn't even get that right. Is it Lil Pump being the moron that he is? He like invites him up to stage. And he's like, "Everybody, Lil Pimp." was like, he's not called Lil Pimp, you weirdo.
Did he call him the greatest rapper in the world or something?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Greatest
and
rapper in the world, Lil
That's
Pimp.
whenever Kanye just threw his MAGA hat out the window. He's just like, no.
I'm out.
I give
I'm
up. But yeah, I mean, election news aside, hopefully all good. It was like some sort of heavenly godsend of a week of like, we can, kick Trump out of the old Oval Office.
Do you know what I love about
office.
them weeks is seeing the people with the giant screens behind them.
No, that have been there forever.
It's like watching the red zone in the NFL. It's like screens everywhere, and they got stats. It's like all about the stats. So over here, then they got little slides coming down. I'd love to do that job. Like to have the mental.
I know so many people like
stuff.
put a compilation together of just like those guys just like being there, and it's like, when did they sleep? I feel like they were on like 24/7 for like
They're
4
the
days.
MVPs of that week.
But yeah, we might be able to get Trump out of the White House as long as nothing goes horribly wrong, which I don't even care who goes into it. It doesn't even matter that much to me. I just need him out. And then there's the potential positive news of like a COVID vaccine thing, which could be pretty good. Andy, come on, let me have it. This is what I keep telling people. I know there's probably a lot of problems with it, but let me have it. Let me have this one. I need a win. I just need a win. Let's get Trump out. Let's cure Corona. We can do it together. Don Maple for president.
One step at a time. One step at a time.
But yeah, so
this message.
Exciting week.
R.I.P. Alex Trebek.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Trebek, man. Yeah.
Big Alex.
I don't even have
Jeopardy.
much to say on that. It's just sad, man. Just sad.
Jeopardy.
What a hero. Yeah, I don't know, man. Remember Jeopardy, Mike?
Yeah, it was great.
He's a
Give it a couple of years' time, and they'll probably bring it back with some stupid host. Try and do it again.
nobody
Possibly.
can do Jeopardy like Trebek.
No,
Just can't.
definitely not.
Yeah, well, on the music front, we got a couple things. I don't know what you guys have heard from these, but hopefully I can encourage you and spur you on to listen to some of this. So two big bands that it was like, oh, there's music there. Foo Fighters, who most people knew, they've been working on a little album. They've been cooking a little something up, but because of coronavirus, they delayed everything. They're working with I meant to write all this down in my notes, so sorry if I mispronounce names or whatever, but it's Greg Kirsten who produced their last record. So I thought that was pretty cool that they went with him again, just because like they usually always work with Butch Vig, who he's just recorded them forever. He's the same guy that produced Nevermind, if you don't know. And ever since then, Dave Grohl is just like pretty much the whole way through work with Butch Vig. And not that, I mean, it's nice whenever bands have a relationship with a producer like that, but every once in a while you just gotta like, let's try something else. And
Yeah.
I think it paid off for them in the last record personally. Some people didn't like it, but I thought Concrete and Gold was pretty good. And they released a new song. I think it was the same night of that Saturday Night Live performance when they performed the night that Dave Chappelle done the monologue, which if you follow me on Twitter, you probably see me retweeting. Ugh, best SNL monologue like ever. Absolutely loved it. So good. Makes you feel kind of shit to be white, but it's all right. No, man, Dave's the best. Dave is the best, and I could just listen to that man talk for like forever. Just release an audiobook of just Dave telling random stories, and I'm there. That's all I want to hear. Where's his podcast? Let's cancel ours and get on his.
He can't be bothered to do a podcast.
But with audio only, you don't get to see him sitting there and like lighting up his cigarette and stuff. I feel like that adds an extra element to how enjoyable it is to listen to that guy talk.
That is correct.
I know. Oh, the cigarette is just the I don't really give a shit attitude. It's so good. But yeah, so it's the same night Dave was on Saturday Night Live. Definitely go watch the monologue. I've got follow me on Twitter. I've retweeted it. Because you won't be able to find it anywhere else. I'm the only source of
the only person
Saturday
on
Night
Twitter.
Live material. I'm the only person that like posts that stuff up. You know, I don't know if you realize that.
Well, this is the. I mean, we're the first place that everybody gets their news. Like, I mean, who's going to be able to hear about like the escapades of Kanye and stuff if it wasn't for us? You know what I mean?
Insane.
This is the first place you go to for breaking news.
Wait, you know what? Speaking of Kanye,
Oh,
Segue.
didn't really hear anything. He's been pretty quiet this week.
no. The only
And
thing I heard
that's
was
all I
the
got to say.
remix of his Na song, and that was it.
Yeah, you know what? I think we only talked about the fact that he's gonna release a song, and then I listened to it after an episode of the podcast. I actually really like that song. It's just one of those Kanye, just like it's just whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I find it funny every time I listen to it. I kind of laugh, and it feels like if you watched his Joe Rogan podcast, it's just like take the like 3-4 hours of that podcast and just like smush it down and then create a kind of half shit but half funny song out of it in just 3 minutes instead of like 3 hours. And that's the song. Everything in that song he talked about in the podcast, but he just didn't shut up about it. And he has all that content in there, so just go listen to the song if you don't have time for the Joe Rogan experience, you know. But yeah, no crazy Kanye escapades this week that I can really think of. But yeah, Foo Fighters, right? Sorry, I was talking about that. So yeah, they've been gone for a while. It's kind of weird. They say stuff like, you know, oh, we're gonna be gone for a while, and it feels like they've released a record like 6 months ago. I don't know.
Like, yeah.
Like, the Foo Fighters like never
doesn't
go
seem
away.
that long ago, really.
Dave Grohl like takes a week off, and he's just like, sorry, we took a break. It's just
Took
like,
forever.
man, he just guy doesn't stop. And I don't really get people that like. I get people that are like, Foo Fighters, blah blah blah. You know, it's like, come on, man. He's a rock and roll legend. I'm not saying. I mean, they're good. They're good. I mean, I have very fond memories of the Foo Fighters, and maybe not like super duper excited whenever they release something, but you know, they're still great. I do like the new song. You should listen to it. It is a bit.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Dave always does this thing. He said the same thing with the last record they brought out, where he's just like, it's so super experimental and it's so super different from anything we've ever done
an
before.
Interview of him saying that, and like
says it
without
all the time.
context, it was like, but he's so good at convincing you as well.
I know.
So
He
without
tells wild
context, I was like,
stories.
oh, I gotta listen to that.
It does sound different,
They've-
but it just kind of sounds like a Foo Fighters song, but it sounds like a slightly different Foo Fighters song.
That's
a-
exactly. That's what
there's-
you want.
There's a lot of artists do that though. That is the general artist chit chat promo thing. It's like this new stuff is in a direction that we've never went before. It's highly experimental. Just big it up as much as you can.
Yeah.
And then
I
it
mean,
comes out and it's like,
gotta-
this sounds like the old stuff.
I know. Half of it is in the storytelling. Like, Dave's been doing a very good job of like talking about where they recorded the record, because they recorded it in some sort of spooky mansion somewhere. I can't remember. I read a lot about this, and then like as every week we had a lot of technical difficulties before we came on this show. And
As you can tell by Stu's energy.
Stu's energy is dang it, I'm tired. I need rest, guys. But yeah, like I can't remember where it is or anything like that. Go look it up. I'm not gonna do it. But
This is their thing now. Is this now? This is what they done. Oh no, it wasn't the last album. It was the album before as well. It was the Sonic Highways. It's like,
yeah, Sonic Highways
So
is cool.
there's
'cause
always
it's attached
there's
to the
always something
documentary.
to sell the record. Yeah. So like they have, as you say, like a story or something behind how they recorded it
Yeah.
or whatever. And
I feel it's becoming a very big trend of the Foo Fighters is like the Sonic Highways one. I like the idea. Again, it's like, you always get people, you know what? Just shut up, people. And you just stop being so annoyingly negative at everything. But like people are just like, oh, that sucked. Sonic Highways was terrible. I was like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I love the documentary. Like
Yeah, the documentary is great.
Yeah, it was great.
Documentary's better than the album, but
Yeah.
you can appreciate the album more.
Yeah,
if
because you
watch
see where the
documentary.
songs come from and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, makes you appreciate it a lot more. And I thought it was really well put together for like Dave Grohl producing it and everything. And like, you know, he done a great job. And Yeah, so then after that, I remember the Concrete and Gold storylines that they kept throwing out there was like that they were working in the studio and they were working with their new producer, and it's like, man, we were working in a studio and people just kept popping in. It's just like, Justin Timberlake just came down the hall and he's popping. He's like, "You want to jump on his track just now?" It's just like, come on. Didn't happen like that. He made it sound like everyone was just like popping in and out. It was just some sort of crazy party studio.
There was many record executives and managers and stuff involved in
sure
the arrangement of that scenario.
Yeah, I'm sure, Dave. Everyone was just popping around. It was so coincidental. And the one before that was whenever he said, we're going back to our roots. We're making a record in my garage. But then, if you watch the documentary of that time, it's like a garage is like a multi-million-dollar studio. It's like, holy crap. And they work with Butch Vig, who compressed the shit out of it, so it didn't matter where it was recorded. It could have been recorded on Mars and still would have sounded the same. Oh, God. But yeah, so the news story is that they recorded in some sort of creepy mansion that he is convinced is haunted, and they think somebody died there, but apparently Dave Grohl went and spoke to the owner and he told him everything about it, but he had to sign what do you call it, NDR, non-disclosure, or NDA, sorry, non-disclosure NDA. Agreement to not repeat what they said to him because they're trying to sell the place. I was like, ooh, spooky.
Would you not have to do that when you sell a place anyway? Do you not have to say if somebody's died in it or not?
I don't know. Is
anyone?
That schoolyard myth?
I think this could be just a TV movie thing, but I don't know where I got this from. I think it's only if people ask.
Well, people are going to ask now if Dave Grohl's going around telling
don't know if that's
magazines.
True. So, yeah, for any of the listeners out there, if you're ever buying a house, just ask, has anybody ever been murdered? There you go. Just ask it along with, like, when was the last time it was rewired and stuff. You know, just drop it in there.
Man, I need to segue into something just because you reminded me of something that I meant to tell Andy a while ago. So, at the minute, I think I spoke about this before. I listened to the Dissect podcast that breaks down full-length albums, like one track at a time. They release episodes like every Tuesday, so like it takes months to get through a record.
Yeah.
And they're doing Childish Gambino because the internet at the minute, which I am absolutely loving. It's just making me find way more appreciation for that album. I always was a big fan of it, but there's just certain things, like I remember trying to follow the narrative before, but it is this like huge sprawling multimedia experiment that he was doing where there's so much tied into this one record, and I'm not going to go off and talk about it for too long because there's not enough time. Go and look into it if you're interested. It's crazy. It's like it's an album that he also wrote a screenplay for, and you kind of need to read the screenplay to understand the narrative of the album, and then each music video relates to parts in it. There's a lot of messaging behind it of how it relates to the script and the record. And then there was also, at the time, there was a lot of these like websites and things that he was bringing out that had clips that he'd like filmed for the album that would be scenes directly from the screenplay. So the main takeaway is that they made this short film before called Clapping for the Wrong Reasons, which I've mentioned previously on this, which if you watch it by itself, you're just like, I don't know what's going on. It just seems like some sort of weird art indie film that doesn't make any sense. Whenever it's broken down the way Cole Kushner does on Dissect, he's absolutely amazing at like doing this sort of stuff. Is like the meaning behind it is incredible. But in Clapping for the Wrong Reasons, you can watch this on YouTube, by the way, for free. It's up there. You should look it up. There's a mansion that the main character, who's played by Donald Glover, is living in. It's meant to be his dad's house, right? And his dad, by the way, in the story of this, is Rick Ross. Just this dad. His dad is just Rick Ross, which is weird. And his friend is Chance the Rapper, but he's not called Chance the Rapper. And it's all very weird. It's like there's celebrities that play different characters.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange. But anyway, so it's meant to be that his dad is obviously like super rich. He has like a strained relationship with him. His dad's not really there, and his mom's passed away, so he's just living in this like super huge mansion, just wasting his time, just like trolling people on the internet and stuff. But the point I wanted to make is that the mansion that they use in Clapping for the Wrong Reasons is the setting in the screenplay. It's the setting that they actually describe in certain songs on the album. And it is the place that they recorded Because the Internet in. They rented it. And the actual mansion is Chris Bosh's mansion.
No way.
I know, and I was just like, that's so fucking cool. He's an NBA player for everybody who didn't know.
Like Miami Heat.
Yeah, and I was like, that's Chris Bosh's mansion? Dude, he has like a big infinity pool and a huge Buddha statue. And
Of course
like,
he does.
It's incredible looking. But it all, like, he pretty much took that whole thing and made it play into the narrative. But then, man, I went down, like, there's a rabbit hole you can go down starting to look at where, like, artists have recorded in really weird places.
Do you know what I thought you were going to say? What mansion it was? I thought this was going to link to Atlanta. I literally thought that's why you were going to... Yeah.
Like the Teddy Perkins?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say, but Chris Bosh was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised whenever I can't even remember if it was on that podcast or someone else that said it was owned at the time by Chris Bosh, and I was like, what? It was? Okay. That's pretty cool.
Just while you touched on Atlanta there, I just wanted to check with you guys. Did you guys see any of the... I don't know if it was an interview or if it was another tweet or whatever, but... Donald Glover has recently made like comments about Atlanta season 3 and 4. He must be doing them together.
I freaking hope so.
It made me really excited. You know what he actually said? He said that the only thing that he thinks could come close to touching season 3 and 4 is The Sopranos.
Yeah.
So like he thinks that it's like up there with the best TV that there's ever been.
Big
so
words.
I can't
Big words.
wait to see.
Yeah, that was part of the thing that I mentioned at the start of this episode. So he tweeted again. Like, Donald Glover's one of these people. He's like Kendrick Lamar. It's like his socials just stay blank, and he tends to delete everything as he posts them. So, like, you know, you'll usually only see him go on like a posting rampage whenever he's going to promote like a record or something.
When he wants attention. No,
yep. And then he just he takes it all away. Because I mean, I think if there was ever a sign, if you ever get, I mean, I would highly recommend diving into Because the Internet. That podcast is the best place to get the information for it. It's called Dissect. You can find it on Spotify. Definitely go and listen to it. It will be eye-opening, but it will more or less tell you why that man does not stay on social media. And it makes you want to get off it so bad too. Yeah, but usually he would just like delete all tweets and Instagram posts and stuff, and then whenever he has something to say, it'll come up and then it'll be taken away again. Kendrick does the same thing. But yeah, so he tweeted for like the first time in forever there, and he said that's where that information came from. He said about Atlanta. Like, he doesn't really do much. He doesn't do many interviews or anything unless he's like promoting movies or going on a tour or something where he's going to promote himself. So all this info came from like 3-4 tweets where he was just talking about Atlanta, and then he talked about his last record where he said, my last record was probably my best. And then he said, if you thought it was hot in 2018, you don't even know what's coming. It's like, this next one's going to be the biggest yet. And then that's all he said. And obviously that was the This Is America, like, hot times, which was just like huge. But yeah, man, I love the guy. He's so cool. I'm very excited to see what he's bringing to the table. I'm waiting for ages. I think people were always waiting. We actually talked about it on one of these episodes that at the time he was announcing his retirement from the Childish Gambino thing.
Yeah.
Which we couldn't really tell if that was definitely happening or not, because I know people say this, but like afterwards he did release an album, but then I kept thinking this album that he released was bizarre because they streamed it through a website for a day, and the website was called Donald Glover Presents, and then the name of the album is just the timestamp, like the full time of the album, which I can't even remember. It's like 48 something, 15, something random like that. It's just how many minutes are on the record. And then majority of the track list, bar like 2 songs, are all just the timestamps of when they start. And although you're gonna find it on Childish Gambino on there, I was like, is this a technicality? Because he said there was gonna be 3 Childish Gambino albums, and I was like, but he said Donald Glover presents. Is he trying to say that this is not a Childish Gambino record? Plus, half of them don't even have song titles, really. So I don't know. I feel there's something in there where he's trying to get away with doing a middle record. But because that came out. Didn't that come out this year? Or am I
That came out, that Childish got the internet thing?
No,
the browser album?
Yeah, the one
that was, I think, last year, because his trainers, the Continental ones, the collab that he done with Adidas, came out roughly at the same time. I think that was last year.
Was it that like?
Might have been like the end of last year. Yeah.
I'll look it up because I you know what, I said that the album title is the timestamp. I'm wrong. It's all the tracks are the timestamp. I think the album is actually the date it came out, if I remember. It's like the most obvious. I'm asking when it came out. I think it's literally called the date it came out.
Because I'm pretty sure it's 15th of March. Of this year?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it
has been a long year, Andy.
I know. That feels like a lifetime ago.
But I'm pretty sure that he put out like his Adidas collab adverts, and then that came up.
I do remember you sending me those. I
remember the commercials.
Those adverts.
They're really weird.
They were friggin'. They wanted me to, or they made me want to buy those shoes. Like,
yeah. I was in work, literally refreshing my phone to get them trainers.
It was called 3/15/20.
Yeah, so that's March 15th of March 2020. I knew it was recent. You know what it was? Because that's the day after my son was born. As well. Because I remember I think on the drive home, I was like, oh, there's a new Childish Gambino record. I was pumped. It was probably the first songs he ever heard. Yeah, so man, exciting times if he's bringing out something. And then, yeah, I think out of nowhere, System of a Down come back. And if you're going to be like, man, it's been like a hot minute since I've heard some System of a Down, you'd be right, because it's been 15 years since you've heard of System of a Down.
Fuck, has it been that long?
Yeah, man, it's been. Jeez,
I know it's long, but
no. Well, years. I mean, look, I've been following it for a while. I do not know the ins and outs. I'm sure there's like super fans that are like very much into all the nitty gritty of it. I was just loosely following it because I really do like. I love System of a Down. They're great. I liked them as a kid, and then me and my wife saw them live somewhere, and it was just like, I tell you, like life-changing experience.
Leeds Festival, wasn't it?
I think
I'm pretty sure, because I seen them as well. One of the years we went. Just
the most incredible, like, best live band I've ever seen. Serge Tankian's voice, just, it's all mesmerizing. Like, I just couldn't. I remember whenever Sarah and I went to that, and it was just like, I think she like kind of liked System of a Down, and then she just became obsessed with them afterwards. She's just like, that just changes everything, like seeing them like that. You just remember the live performance. Unbelievable. So we always followed them, like just, I suppose, just waiting for something, but there had been so many discussions of like infighting with that band as they could never agree on anything, and I think there's a lot of creative differences, but
I feel like it'd be such an intense band to be part of.
Yeah, I mean, they're very serious. That's the thing. And some people just hear songs and they think, I don't know, sometimes they have weird, like, sweary songs and songs that sound a little bit silly. But really, at the core of every song is to do with the Armenian people and the struggles of that country, which is actually what brought them back in the end, was that they decided, I think it was the drummer, really, that brought them all together and said, look, what's going on in Armenia at the minute is just, it's bigger than egos, it's bigger than everything else. So they done these 2 songs which are clearly like about what's going on over there, and I think all the funds are going towards the like Armenian campaign or fund or whatever it was called, but they're obviously trying to use the power for good, and man, if it's bringing System of a Down back, then that's
how you were saying some people, Foo Fighters sound the same. But obviously some people in a good way. It's like when I listened to the 2 tracks, because it was 2 tracks they released.
Yeah.
When I listened to them, I was like, yeah, this sounds like Sister. They haven't lost the.
Yeah, they
haven't lost
still
the
sound
step.
like they.
But the thing is,
I know.
that's exactly what I want.
That's what
I
you
want them
want.
to sound
Yeah,
like-
yeah, exactly.
It's no
Look,
point.
guys, you know what? I think we're living in a time now where I was gonna talk about this on the last show, and then y'all told me that you weren't that fussed on the Mandalorian, and I got pissed off and just decided not to talk about
Oh
it.
no, I just didn't see it.
No,
I
you need to tell
didn't
me how
see it.
good it is and that it's the best show on television. And don't say anything else because that's the truth, everyone. And so I am finding in this climate that we live in, right? I in the past would have been a big fan of movies and shows where it's like the character needs to be complex. It needs to be your Tony Sopranos, your Walter Whites, these people who are broken, and it's like these terrible decisions they make, and you go down this rabbit hole. And it's like, yeah, I like to get into that, the whole psychological de-evolution of people. And now because the world is that, I just want like a show where a guy makes all the right decisions all the time, and he does everything correctly. That's what the Mandalorian is. He never does anything wrong, and
Noble
he
guy.
just always does the best thing possible, and he's badass, and he just like he knows what to do. And it's like every episode's like an episode of the Lone Ranger or something. It's like a western, like do like a bounty hunter and his sidekick or whatever is like on the run for another episode. They'll get into some escapades with something. I've said escapades like 4 times this episode.
Escapades.
I'm blaming you, Mike. You said it once. I've just like attached it in my mind now.
It's a good word.
It is a good word. Yeah, so I just need to watch that now. Like, I kind of love watching a movie where it's just like the protagonist does everything correctly and it's the end. Like,
Here.
that's what I've become. It's like, can everyone just make the right decision, please?
Just do some nice things.
Just do it. It doesn't even need to be nice. You go around blowing people's heads off. It's like, I'm the kind of guy that I would rather like go and sit down and watch Taken now just to be like, yeah, he fucks everyone up because he gets his daughter back. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, I don't want to see him get into jams. I just want to see people try and jam him up, and then he's just like, no, fuck you. I'm innocent. And then he just shoots you. Or, yeah, whatever. Do you remember that time he was racist? Oh, Liam Neeson. That's why he hasn't been in anything. Forgot about that. I think. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
boys. I'm way off topic now. I don't know. What was it talking about? System of a Down.
System of a Down.
Oh, here.
Two tracks.
Before you jump off there, something else that's lighthearted. If you're looking for lighthearted stuff, have you ever watched Schitt's Creek before?
Oh, we keep talking about that. Like, my wife and me keep saying, like, should we watch Schitt's Creek? I don't know.
I was skeptical because like all the artwork and stuff for it, whenever you flick through Netflix, is like, that does not look like a show that I would like. But like it won loads of Emmys and stuff for the last season and everything, and it's actually like a Canadian show as well, which I didn't know either before watching it.
I think that's why she was like, Sarah was like, yeah, do you think you would like this? I have a funny
actually
feeling we might like this.
Genuinely very funny. It has the mom from Home Alone. And she basically plays, if anybody is familiar with, I know Stu will be, she basically plays like a Lucille Bluth character from Arrested Development. But basically it's like this family of like the mother, father, and the 2 spoiled children. Right at the start, they lose all their money and they're forced to go live in like this hick town that the dad bought for the son as a joke.
This sounds...
Quick setup.
This sounds very close, like
yeah,
to
it's
Arrested Development,
very close
like,
to Arrested Development, but it kind of veers off and does its own thing. But it's like a really easy 30-minute comedy show, and to me, it kind of like fills the void of like The Office and Parks and Rec and stuff like that that's been gone for a long time, and there hasn't really been many good shows like that.
Hey,
Fill those voids.
watch
Hey,
New
what are
Girl.
you gonna say?
Watch New Girl.
I know.
You'll never look back. And you know what? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna send you like a really.
Just laughing. Remember a joke from New Girl?
Hey, remember
No,
you were talking about Kanye's reference things last week? Nobody knows what you're talking about.
It's even worse than a New Girl reference. At least maybe one listener out there like actually watches New Girl and it's like, I know exactly what he's talking about. Just laughing with me right now, even though we haven't spoken yet. They're like, they know. No. I'm laughing because there was this clip and I videoed it the other night and I was like, did I send this to Mike or is this just gonna seem like I'm being a dick? But it just made me think of you. I'm sorry, I'm laughing too much.
The only thing I can remember from New Girl is puzzling.
Winston is puzzling. No, it's whenever Schmidt gets a house and it's just like a clip right at the end. He like brings CC out of the house and he's like, I want to show you this. I can remotely lock the house from outside. He's got like 60 locks. He's like all from one button on his app. And he can't go back in. And it sounds so stupid, but I was sitting there crying with laughter, remember? I was just like, oh, I feel like this is going to happen to Mike one day.
Too many gadgets. I seen this tweet that kind of reminded me of myself, but thankfully I've never had this problem before. It was like this girl put up, it was like, whenever you babysit for a millennial couple or something like that, it's like, yeah, I can't get the kitchen light on or something like that. And then the reply to her text was like, yeah, you actually have to go into like the hallway. Under the cupboard, there is the router and there is a hub for the lights. Sometimes you need to reset the hub. If that doesn't work, you'll need to log into the router. and it just went off on one for ages.
I'm gonna,
it's like, yeah, I feel
find this
personally
clip
attacked.
and literally send it to you right now. Oh man, I know. Well, I can't even make fun of you too much anymore because I bought my first like smart light a while ago.
They are handy, like.
You know what? You say they're handy, and they are.
If they work.
It is now. It wasn't handy to set up in the slightest.
No,
it's like immediately you need to know how to like wire a light in. I was like, oh shit, this doesn't just like plug into something, right? Okay. So then I did that. No big deal. That's fine. And then like once it's in it, I can't connect my phone to it, and it's like, oh no. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to go on to like your IP address on a browser, get the old router up there. You're gonna want to split that internet connection into two different internet connections. And I'm like, why did I buy this? I just want to turn a light on. I just want a light. And I tell you, the only reason that I wanted the light is because this converted cottage that we bought like a couple years ago, it's been really bugging me that in the kitchen there's just one of those like hanging down like electrical wiring things where you can wire something in, and it's just hanging, and I've got nothing to put in there, and it's in such close proximity to like a cupboard that you can't put a hanging light. You can't put anything that hangs too low because the cupboard would hit every time it opened. I don't know who put this in there, but I want to kill him because I was like, I'm gonna have to find something, and then eventually I just found like a flat like Alexa controlled light, and I was like, that will be perfect. And I spent the entire day losing my mind trying to connect my phone to it, like so that I could control it through the app. And I was like, just turn on. I just want a light. That's all I want is to cover up those wires. That's all I need.
You're gonna have to put up pictures now of your handiwork for all the listeners to see your
I will.
Wi-Fi light.
Follow me on Twitter and you'll see some pictures of my smart light. You can see all the trouble I had installing it in my TikTok.
Next week, the 6 Pro podcast turns into Stu doing DIY tutorials for installing lights
you do
from
not
the
want to
workshop.
see. You don't want to see me do DIY tutorials. This is why I need you to watch New Girl, because you know what, New Girl, Nick in that show is me. I am Nick, and I've never been more like somebody in a TV show in my life. I'm not proud of it. As funny as he is depressing, and he is not great at stuff. And there's definitely one episode where he goes around like fixing stuff in the house, and they all get pretty annoyed at him because they're just like, Nick, you didn't actually fix, because he has all these things where it still kind of works, but it's like just him duct taping stuff together to make it work. And he's like, oh, you wanted a fancy fix. It's like, that's me. It's like, I don't fancy fix. I just kind of try and get it to where it needs to be, and then I'm done. Like, I'll duct tape duct tape stuff up until it works again. That's all I need. I am sending you this clip right now over this. Not that I expect you to watch it right now. I just don't want to forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, go watch New Girl.
It's all right, we got time.
And I'll watch that other show. Maybe. Maybe. No, we probably will watch History. Yeah, so System of a Down are back.
That was a long tangent. A very long tangent.
Ooh. Sometimes I just wonder what the fuck we're doing here. I feel like this is, there's a lot of times I have thoughts of the day and I'm just like, man, if I was more active on Twitter, I would probably have like 1 billion followers because I have some great thoughts. Now I'm just sharing them on the podcast. Come to lazy tweet.
It's only 150 characters.
Too many. Needs to be 3.
Too many characters.
3. All 3-letter words. That's what it should be. Yeah, you don't need to know anymore. System of a Down are back, and they're doing it for a good cause, and the Foo Fighters are back, and they sound like the Foo Fighters, but they recorded it in a haunted mansion. It's like Scooby-Doo and the Foo Fighters team up for an album, the likes of which you have never heard before. Which, if that documentary came along with it, I am in. 100% in.
I'd love to see System of a Down stay back, I think.
I really hope they do. I mean, it's majorly just like I said, a lot of infighting in the band and a lot of like, I don't know. They come out with the same sound every time, so I don't even know what they're arguing about. Whenever Serge Tankian done a solo album, it sounded exactly like System of a Down album, so I don't know. Well, I don't know what the big fight's about, but they are creative geniuses and I love them. So
really cool. Yeah.
Anyway, on the, I don't even have my soundboard this episode. I want to do like, what do you do for like local music news, like Northern Irish music news? Be like, scene around the scene, ba ba ba. Rowan Atkinson is Mr. Bean, ba ba ba.
Yeah, that was it. That was exactly it.
Have a cup of tea about the music news. So on this edition of Music News, the podcast within a podcast, Wynona Bleach released a new single, and it's terrific. It's very good. It's called Glimmer. You can get it on Spotify and all those cool places. There's no point in telling me. I think by now, if you listen to the show, you probably know where to get your music. I would like to hope, anyways. But Mike, I hope you have a better memory than me. But this is the thing: is like we've been talking this Wynona Bleach album for like a long time. They went out to Portugal to record it, right? And I just don't know. I can't remember the name of the producer they worked with. He's I
can't remember either.
But he was a big name, dude.
Yeah,
big name.
It was cool. The new single, I do really like the video for it as well, which my Facebook's not loading now, but like they basically recorded it on a shoestring budget. It was pretty DIY, but
I think they said it was like £10 or something.
Yeah.
They recorded it for by lending a lot of equipment.
It doesn't look DIY though. It looks very, very cool.
It really doesn't, man. Like I was convinced whenever I even seen like the behind the scenes like photographs they were putting up of them filming in like this forest, I just assumed it was a whole crew out there. It looked like a big old production. But yeah, they said it was like 10 £15 or something like that they did it for, which is so cool.
There's some very, very, very cool music, but as well music videos coming out lately as well. Down Productions. That guy can fill some friggin' cool music videos too. He's put out 2 recently. One for an act called Becca, and I'm struggling to remember the other video that came out, but the videos are amazing. The songs are so cool too. But like it's good to see some actual like really cool music videos coming out of Northern Ireland as well.
Yeah, man. You know what? There's a lost art in music video making. I remember that like some of the songs I really remember from my childhood is just like, I just always think, oh, music video was so good for that. And like, I could still talk about them now at length. And that's all I want to put on. Like, you know, in the good old days, whenever you could get together for like parties and then you just start like putting on the YouTube stream, like you all attach to the TV, you put on the music videos on YouTube. And I start throwing back and everyone wants to throw me out of the party because nobody knows what I'm putting on. But there's one music video in particular that I always remember for you remember that band, Mike? Low Gold. They had a song called Counterfeit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I love that song, and the music video always cracked me up. It still makes me laugh now. It's like the simplest idea ever. It's just that like, it's this guy like goes and he like sits down at a piano, and he's like all dressed up and stuff. He's like an older guy. I don't even think he's the singer of Low Gold, but I've never seen what he looks like, so I have no idea. And I've only seen this one music video, but it's just like the riff starts out, and it's like this big guitar riff. You know, it's like they're kind of like an alternative rock band or whatever, so like the intro guitar riff comes in and it's all fuzzy and stuff, but it's just this guy on a piano, and it's like he's playing the piano notes as if they're the guitar, which just sounds so dumb, but it just cracks me up because it's like it's recorded as if it's like a TV, like recording a like a live TV performance, somebody doing a piano ballad, and he's like singing the song, but all the guitar and the solos and stuff he's playing on the piano, which clearly it has no piano in the song at all. I don't know. I thought that was hilarious. Go look up Low Gold Counterfeit, and
It's
I just
such a
think
great
that
song.
video is so
Such a
funny.
Yeah, the other video from Down Productions, amazing video, amazing song, is Sam Wickens.
Oh, Sam Wickens is great, man. He actually is really good. Like I've only been getting into him recently. I think he was on the same. He's maybe on. I think he done an interview the week that I released Past on Q Radio, and
Right.
I was listening to his interview at the time. And I found it really
What was his
interesting.
second name, Mike?
Wickens, Sam Wickens.
Am I right in thinking he has a song called Eden, or did I make that up?
Not too sure.
I really hope I'm not wrong about that, but I think that's the song he was talking about, and it was really nice, the story he was telling about it all. But yeah, I started listening to his songs, and I was like, damn, it's really good. So he has a new music video out, yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I also seen I don't even know, is the music video out yet for the Joshua Burnside single? Because the video to that was looking insanely cool.
Yeah, it's out. It's very cool.
I haven't seen it all yet. I seen the clip that they were like advertising at the time, and it just, oh man, it looks so cool. It kind of looked like that. What's that scene from what's that David Lynch movie? You know, where it's like the camera pans down and it's like under the ground, under the grass.
Oh yes, Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet. Yeah, it is Blue Velvet, isn't it? It's not the other one. What's the other one?
Yeah. Lost Highway.
No, something Drive. Is that right? Something Drive?
Mulholland Drive. Yeah,
Mulholland
it's
Drive.
definitely Blue
Oh,
Velvet.
that's the other.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
goes below the ground and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, it's like the Joshua Burnside video, and it's like it goes down when it's like the whole camera like
Yeah.
flips upside down, and it's like he's playing and he's going nuts on it. Yeah,
I
it's
watched
really
that
cool
the
video.
other day. It's very cool, and that album is amazing. Especially the opening to that album is so cinematic and moody, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's up for N.I Music Prize for something. I think.
Man, I would assume so. He
Yeah.
probably should be.
Very cool. Very cool.
Speaking of, that is the other big news. You guys get this on a Friday. We record it on a Wednesday. So N.I Music Prize is tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we didn't want to take away those viewers from the show, because we know we would have stole everyone. You know, we would have took everyone away for our show, and we want to watch the N.I Music Prize. Please, guys, please change the
Or play
the
on a
date
next
of your show."
generation console. I mean, what?
No, well, not if you. Well, depends where you're from. Although, have I ever told you that whenever I go into the stats for our podcast, there's always like a small cluster of listeners in Uganda. Ever since our first episode was called Ugandan Jurassic Park, and I feel like somebody must have just searched and they were just like, "Podcast about Uganda, guys, let's get on."
Can you imagine if
Whoa.
they post
And
it?
then they stayed on board. After they
went there.
realized it
They went
wasn't?
there for the Uganda reference, and they stayed for the laughs. Everyone.
Can you imagine if we falsely advertised a fucking park in Uganda and people went there to go see it?
To be honest,
Doesn't
it
even
makes me
exist.
want to name episodes after random countries more often, like just to see what happens. Like this one's like fucking Spanish.
Flu.
No,
Oh yeah, don't mention.
that's
flu.
not a good Spanish Spanish flu is gone, maybe.
Exactly.
And then people search
Exactly.
that, and then they get our episode, and it's such a this is how you get into clickbait, right?
Spanish
This is how you
flu
discover
is gone.
clickbait, and then you're like,
Remember-
oh shit. So if I just put something that people want to hear, and I just kind of vaguely put it up, and they don't know what it is, then they click on that thing, and
It's
then I
like-
get the views for it. It's like, oh, it's easy.
It's like old
It's
school
easy.
wrestling. You're just going for the cheap pop. Just
cheap
just
pop.
mention the town that you're in.
Yeah. Mick
I'm
Foley used to do
coming
that all the
down
time.
to
That was a
Spain.
Mick
Spain's
Foley
not a
trick.
town.
That was a Mick
Probably
Foley
towns
trick.
in Spain. I don't know.
I was like, yeah.
Hey, did you see? Talking to wrestling, it was the best thing I've ever seen to come out of the N.I Music Prize. Was there has been wrestling showdown talks?
I wanted to talk about this as well.
Oh, Andy, I'm gonna tweet these at you after
I
this episode.
just-
There's been genuine like NWO style like
I'll probably
I'm
enjoy
gonna
them.
see you at the N.I Music Prize like fucking
You're-
showdown talks.
I have always loved Kieran Lavery's promotions of
he's
his
brilliant.
album. He just has like the best sense of humor ever. It's just completely along the lines that I love. But yeah, so he's done these promo videos, Andy, and every once in a while he takes 2 or 3 other nominees for the NI Music Prize. He himself is also nominated. He's wearing this glittery gold, sparkly, shows a little bit of nip outfit. And he has like this cheesy, I don't know if it's like Windows Movie Maker intro or something. It comes up like with a sparkly flash, a message from Kieran Lavery, and then this really techno beat comes in. Dun, 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 dun. And he proceeds to give this quite, what's the word? Timid wrestling speech, where he's like, you guys are not going to win. It's going to be me, but maybe not, sort of thing, or whatever. And he starts calling out all the different acts that are nominated
stuff.
for NI Music
I like
Prize.
it.
It is hilarious. But like, see if you just go back on that guy's Facebook and just watch any other promotion videos for his albums. They're all hilarious. His great sense of humor. And also the albums are amazing. I actually seen him, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. One of the years I got actually going to the NI Music Prize. He performed live, and the live performances were out of this world. It was very, very cool. He came out with like this big group. It was like a choir thing, but they were all in black hoodies, and like the lights were all red and stuff. It was like really atmospheric and stuff, and really cool. The songs are amazing. Like, check it out.
I will.
Here he is.
Our Krypton Sun, Melogian, The Darkling Hour. You think you got the album of the year? You think you deserve the NI Music Prize? Truth be told, I think you deserve the NI Music Prize. But do I deserve the NI Music Prize? Maybe. We're
Maybe.
gonna find out November 12th. It's online, YouTube.
That's it.
He needs it bigger. Send it to him. You need to actually see the outfit
Can
and
you see
everything.
this man? Wait,
Oh,
It's
it
a-
comes up to like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bottom of his pec.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can turn my
It's-
brightness down so
He's
you
like
can see this.
he's like the Northern Ireland Alex Wright.
It's
If
quite-
anybody remembers WCW,
It's quite sexy.
It's pretty
it's
sexual.
fucking Fandango.
It turned me on.
I like it looks like a lucha libre style outfit. I feel like he would be a high flyer. Moonsault off top turnbuckle.
Yeah. He needs to get a mask next.
Well, I mean, don't we all?
Need to get a mask.
Need to get him. Oh, what's going on right now?
I
Oh,
was
he's
just
gonna
waiting
go.
for him to trip over something there.
There you go. Imagine if he did, just like head over heels.
Zing!
There you go.
Where did the drum kit for that? oh, my headphones are all tangled.
Oh,
I can't
there we
hear
go.
yous.
Technical difficulties. It's still worth
Yeah.
it though.
What was his name again, Mike?
I've lost them.
Kieran Lavery.
Kieran.
Kieran Lavery. Follow.
Man, I have been gaining the points.
Lavery.
That's all right. That's your exercise done for the evening. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, all up for grabs. All up for grabs on the NI Music Prize. I feel like, look, it's been a bit harder to cover this year. I think just because with everything going on, and it's been usually we're deep into that stuff in Culture Night and all that, but it's just been a strange year. You know,
I did want to say on those lines, a very, very cool thing that is happening, because it normally happens in the week leading up to the NI Music Prize. We all know they're taking the NI Music Prize online, but they've also taken this element online as well. There normally is it's kind of like a culture nighty festival type thing called Sound of Belfast that happens in the week leading up to NI Music Prize, where there would be a lot of cool gigs and stuff going on around Belfast, around Cathedral Quarter and stuff. The Oh Yeah Music Centre has a load of cool content on their YouTube page at the minute. It's all live shows from all the bars and stuff that we would normally love to go to watch shows. There's stuff in Voodoo. There's stuff on the top of Oh Yeah Music Centre. There's stuff inside Oh Yeah Music Centre, Sunflower Bar, all over the place. I've watched a good few of them. The really, really standout ones to me, New Pagans Live from Voodoo. They do like 2 or 3 songs, I think it is, as like a really, really cool set. And I love those guys. They're amazing. And then the big standout one for me that I absolutely loved, Andy, I don't know if you've got to see it yet, Leo Miyagi.
I seen you post that on Facebook. I actually haven't seen it yet.
He done like a set from the Ulster Sports Club, and man, it is fucking so tight.
Yeah.
Like he has like full band and everything there. He has a guy that's playing proper drums and drum samples and stuff. He has bass, he has keyboards, everything, and it's just done so well.
I will take a look at that.
100%.
Yeah, we've been shouting about Leo for ages on this show, and
forever.
I think he's gonna do very, very well.
Which
I really
is, I
like his whole
I think
vibe
he
and
will.
stuff.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And that's
There's
what I thought was
also-
funny as well. Sorry, it's only slight tangent, but I was thinking this today, being like, you know, we're so pumped for this Wynona Bleach single, and I think one of the earliest episodes we had, we were talking about how Wynona Bleach, they used to be called, they were a band called R51, and they had just renamed themselves, and that was like one of our first things we ever talked about on this show, was them renaming the band, and I was just like, look at them now, man,
Yeah.
fucking killing it.
Been so many as well. Jordan Adetunji and stuff too. Like we were straight on there as well with his first single too.
But he
underground.
he's got a new
Throwing
song
out
called,
stuff at the minute.
he's got a new song called Around,
Yep.
and he's done like it's like drill
It sounds
UK hip-hop
very much like
stuff,
Heady One,
and-
doesn't it? It's like,
and I like it very much. It kind of it's like it's what I've wanted. Secretly, it's what I've wanted to hear for a while. I like that aggressive style of hip hop and stuff, but listening to him do it, it was sick. I wish more of them would do it, just to do more popular, because it's kind of popular now. So
yeah.
just to get into that little zone, it's pretty good song. Pretty good
It
song.
really, that track really reminded me of like Heady One. Like even the flow was like very reminiscent of that the Heady and Drake track. You know that? Remember that one? What was that called? Fuck,
Yeah.
I don't remember. Heady Freestyle, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then it's also like I don't know if he does, but like just from across the pond, like the late Pop Smoke and stuff done that.
Yeah.
They were really big into drill and all that stuff. So I hope it continues.
Yeah,
It's
well,
decent. It's
yeah,
decent.
definitely.
It's good.
I'm trying to think. This isn't even a local music thing, really, but I don't know, Mike, if you've had a chance to check these guys out. But like a band that I've been listening to a lot recently are Black Star Kids, and I just can't help but feel like whenever I listen to Black Star Kids, I'm like, man, this reminds me of the Wonder Villains days. Like, this really does.
Yes, you sent me that. I don't think I did get a chance to listen to it yet. Actually, I remember you saying about it sounds like Wonder Villains and stuff.
Yeah, just if people I mean, I don't know if like I swear showing our time in the music scene, maybe some people don't even know Wonder Villains so much, but I mean, like they were very big for the time. The members split off, and then have half of them have formed what you would know now as Beauty Sleep, but who are, I mean, don't get me wrong, like Beauty Sleep, amazing in their own right. Just there's something different about the two bands. Obviously, different style there, but there's something about Black Star Kids. Whenever I listen to them, I was like, this feels like I'm like at a Wonder Villain show or something. There's just, you'll know what I mean. You should check it out, and it's actually a really fun record. Like, I'm really into it, and it's so like, part of me wanted to just go and like try and Google what these kids' ages were in it, because everything they do is so uber 90s. And I was like, is this like an uber like 90s throwback for people who weren't even around in the 90s? Is this what's happening now? Yes.
Maybe they have much older siblings or something.
I feel, but man, it's like 90s being the new 80s, right? It's like whenever we were kids, and it's like, oh, 80s is so cool. It's like our parents be like, what? All right, whatever.
It is a bit weird as well. It did make me think. I was talking about that. It sounds like a tangent, but it's not really. The New Pagans live performance on YouTube there and stuff. But it was making me think the other day, like whenever we were like way back, like little baby scenesters and didn't have a fucking clue what was going on in the music scene. Do you know that the guitarist in New Pagans is from Rupture Dogs?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, I know. I
I
just thought, like, you know, we just stumbled across some local bands. We were going there.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Like, was it both times? Were they Electric Six gigs or something?
Wonder Villains supported Electric Six, which is the first time we've seen them, and Rupture Dogs supported Electric Six. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Electric Six to thank for all this, and then we worked with Dick Valentine from Electric Six. How far we've come.
Yeah, I know. That's it.
We recorded a song with them, everyone. Go and look it up. It's by Hit the B Button, and it's called So Bad It's Good, and it has Dick Valentine of Electric Six in it, and it's fucking beautiful.
I was working on that beautiful support slot just before we hit everything in the head.
I know.
We didn't. It would have been nice. Full circle.
It would have been good. Would have been good to just perform with him after we see the bands supporting him on stage and be like, one day that will be us. But you know what? I think we topped them all because we recorded a song with them. So we win. We win. And look at all we have to show with it. Is it sarcastic? Who knows? I mean, I'm recording this podcast in like a bunker away from everybody, and it's very cold. There's no heating.
Do you have a really dope Link statue though?
Yep.
Look at all we have to show for
protecting my amplifier. I have a Super Nintendo now. I'm really getting up with the times. Everyone's talking about this PlayStation 5. I'm like, have you tried Nintendo yet? Look, you guys are on the Nintendo. I'm on the Super Nintendo. It's super. Why don't they do that more often now? Like, why can't they, like, the PlayStation? Super PlayStation. I was like, yeah, I'll fucking buy that. It's super.
It's got to be better than the PlayStation.
And then you release
Super in front of it.
the Supra PlayStation, because
Supra is a car.
Yeah, I know, but Supra is better than Super. There's supercars and Supra cars. I don't know. I'm making this up. I don't know.
No, a Supra is actually the name of a car.
No, I know it is, but
okay.
Isn't there? There's supercars as well, but that is
There's
a classification
supercars, yeah.
of.
That's a yeah. That's
I am saying that supercars are better than Super.
Yeah.
It's the next level from Super is to mix the letters up,
supercar.
and that's a fact.
I think we've lost everyone.
Bye, dead air. You can't tell it's like midnight, guys. Okay, you're gonna get this at a nice. You're gonna get this podcast at a time when it was convenient to you. But you know what? It was not convenient for me to record it, and I hope you know that as you listen to this.
But it's a pleasure doing it.
I hated it every second of it.
I didn't.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something?
Can I? Yeah. I just want to do like a few things what I've been listening to this week. Just a few shout outs to, not this week, just in general, just over the COVID period. I've already spoken about Jordan's song Around. I was listening to Arvo Party. They've got a song called Anything. That's pretty decent.
They're up for N.I Music Prize too, right? I think.
Yeah.
The Daniel August hip hop I'm gonna say, yeah, I'll just say he's a hip hop act. He done 2 EPs this year. His latest one is called Retro Jelly Baby, and the other one is called O'Shea. The last track on O'Shea pretty much sums up the summer of, was it the summer of like the whole George Floyd stuff? So if you go back, listen to that, he gets emotional and touches on that subject. That is heartwarming / breaking. And yeah, he's also got a new track called Long Talk, which comes out Friday. I think that was on the radio the other day.
Oh, Fridays and this Friday. So the same day this episode will land? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So out today.
So after that, listen to
it.
And then just someone to look out for is a guy called 44, as in the number 4, the letter T, and then 9 bullets. He's a hip hop act.
Wait, sorry, spell that again? What?
It's the number 4.
The number 4.
T. Yeah,
4,
the letter T.
4 dash T or just 4 space T?
No, just 4
T, capital
9
T, 9.
bullets.
Oh, okay, it's 49. But whenever you describe that, I thought you meant like that's what you have to type into Google. It's like, is there like a fucking bullet emoticon or something? It's like,
no.
Man, people's names are getting really complicated right now. It's
You have
4T dash 9.
Every name's taken up.
Sounds like
the harder. See, like any Skyrim game, anything, trying to come up with a character name is the most hardest thing in the fucking world to do.
You know what? I think we
that's
just need to
it.
go
Like-
back to normal names like British rapper Dave. He's
Hey, Dave's decent. Dave's
I know.
decent.
Like
Dave's-
people are fighting me online already with that.
He's decent. He's good. I like it.
Well, I don't know.
But anyway.
I just can't get into grime. Sorry, continue, Andrew.
But no, check them out. There you go. I'm done.
Yeah. I was just going to say a couple of things there as well. The Help Musicians Northern Ireland has posted up. They have started their phase 3 of financial hardship funding for anybody that is impacted their musical career. If we were talking about it last week on the show, if music is your full-time career and you've basically lost your wage, unable to pay your rent and stuff, there is funding coming from various different places. You can apply. All the details are on the Help Musician Facebook page, website, blah, blah, blah. So check that out. And also, I just seen tonight, now there's not really much details or anything on it, but Laps put up a post there that they have a new song coming out very soon. I think it's called Before You Go. They haven't like put up like a date or anything for when it's coming out or whatever, but those guys are pretty cool. Follow them on Spotify. Keep an eye out for that track coming. You gonna say something?
Yes. Do you remember when we were at fuck. Why have I forgotten the? Oh yeah, Santa.
Yeah.
And there was that
Culture night thing.
Yeah, there was that chill. It was a girl and a guy. Was it called Ghost?
Kyoto Hotel.
Thank you.
Kyoto.
I was wrecking my brain
Yeah.
to think. There you go. Well, how do you spell the? What?
Yeah, I'll DM you after the
yes,
show.
thank you. Yes,
Well,
because I really wanted to.
Stu's giving up on life here. I'll just finish up. One album, guys, you gotta listen to this album, and especially the lead single from it, because it is not just like my favorite album it came out of our scene recently, but like I'm really just enjoying this as like a great album this year that's came out. Band called Dutch Schultz. They have been around on this scene for ages, but it has been a good few years since they put their last album out. They've taken a lot of time with this new one, and it's really, really paid off. The album's called Friends Like Brutus, and the lead single from that is so catchy, as well as most of the rest of the album is got all these hooks and stuff in it, and it like gives me all these different vibes. I don't know what their influences are, but like I can hear, sometimes you do hear stuff that you want to hear in songs and stuff, but I can hear little bits of like Maximo Park and stuff in there, and like the first track that comes in. But then there's Young Legionnaire is a band that I really love, and it's like made up of ex-members of Block Party and stuff, and it's this weird kind of alt-rocky, it manages to somehow feel like it's kind of like noughties rock, but still modern. It's got like indie elements and stuff as well, but it's just a great record, like through and through. It's getting like loads of really, really decent reviews. I know Hot Press from here give it like 8 out of 10, and they're saying like it's like, you know, career topping work from those guys. But yeah, I just really recommend checking out that album, and at the very least, if not the whole album, check out the single, because I think you guys will really like it.
Cool beans. I've written that down. Wrote that down, not written. I ain't proper grammar.
But yeah,
Nice,
that's all I got. Yeah, wake up.
I'm
The dawn there.
Yeah. R.I.P. King Von. That's just the little thing. That's a rapper from the States. People know. Right, Stu?
You mentioned Laps, and he's Laps is gonna be on my second album,
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
exclusive.
That
It might
what a way to drop it.
it
You should
might
put this
even-
clip straight up on Facebook tomorrow.
It might even be an exclusive for him, because I say him. Labs is a band. I'm sorry, I'm talking about Peter from Labs because that's who I was in contact with. But yeah, it might be an exclusive for them too. I don't know if they know they're gonna be on my album, but
Are you allowed to do that?
I don't know.
I want to take this clip right now and like put it up with like a news scroll at the bottom. Don Maple announces new feature on record.
Don Maple announces his run for presidency 2024. I'm as good as anyone that's out there.
During an episode.
Yeah, no. I talked to Peter from Laps, and he was giving out some stems from one of his tracks, and
I remember. I seen that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I asked for them and asked could I use it on something, and it's gonna be on a big old track on the second album, and that's why he hasn't heard from me since, because it's on a big song and it's gonna be good and you're gonna like it and it's really nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, exclusive.
Bye, guys.
So that's been it for this week's Accept Bro. It's after midnight and I need to go to bed. I'm tired. Like, dads don't stay up after midnight anymore, okay? Let's just get that. I think I've properly...
Can you get out of that? Do
Yeah.
I need to drive around to your house to assist you?
For all audio listeners, I was in a cocoon of my hood there. Oh, that was actually really nice in there, though.
There you go.
Um,
Cozy.
That's it. That's all we have, and we'll see you again next Friday. And also the Distant Sound Waves playlist, which is a playlist that we put together that has a bunch of the songs that we talked about on the last couple of episodes of podcast. We usually do it like once a month. It's been gone for so long. Like, those people that have been on it since the last episode have been on it for like a year or something. So like, they've really got the most use out of this. It's not fair. So it's updated now. Go and check it out. We will share it around the place. And that's it. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Mike on Twitter. Follow Andy on Twitter. And
Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me
follow
on
us on the socials individually, but not on Facebook because I'm done with that shit.
Yeah, don't follow me on Twitter either. I don't tweet. Instagram, that's it. I don't use Facebook. I don't use Twitter.
Cool.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Most
we're
of
gonna
them.
right, okay. So everybody, write this down. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Mike on Instagram. And follow Andy on Twitch.
Oh, what is your Twitter?
My Twitter is Don_Maple_.
Whoa! 2 underslashes. I like it.
Don Maple was taken. Don_Maple was taken. I've had this argument for ages. There's a Don Maple somewhere, and he's a doctor. He's a chiropractor, and he runs a
thought that was
legit surgery. And he's called
literally
Doctor
just
Don
as
Maple.
in Donald, probably.
Yeah,
Donald
he's called
Maple.
Dr. Don for Donald Maple, and that is no joke. Go and look him up, and he's on Facebook, and he has a YouTube channel, and I can't get the YouTube name because Dr. Don Maple posts videos on YouTube about his chiropractic like place that he does.
I think I've said to you before, you should just like steal his mugshot and use it as an album cover one time.
I would love to if I didn't get sued for it. I would actually love to just use his videos where he's like, he's a very, I don't know, he looks like a man from the 1970s. I don't know how he, I was about to say I don't know how he's existing. I don't mean like people from the 70s no longer exist. I just mean like he looks like he filmed it in the 70s. Yeah, go look that guy up. I always worry whenever people try, and I'm like, yeah, just search Don Maple, that they might come across this guy and think it's a weird alias.
I'm gonna test how good your Google reach is. If you just put in Don Maple, do you come up at the top?
Of course I do.
Dr. Don Maple is below. Yeah.
I'm plugging all over the show. No, you need to YouTube him. You need to search him on the YouTube channel.
Oh, right, okay. So he's a bit harder to find. He needs to get his internet reach up a little bit.
Yeah. That's it. I think he's posted like one video, and I'm just like, just give up the name, man. Just give me Don Maple.
I want you guys to get into some sort of like music beef.
So I really want to reach out to him and be like, can I just be Don Maple? It feels like you don't post to this channel anymore. Just message him, and then he might get angry and start like posting all the time and be like, this guy wants my name. I was like, well, that's just how it is.
Don, what was it again?
Don
__. Oh.
Don underscore Maple underscore. Did you find
Boom.
it? You got me. And he's added me for the first time ever on Twitter.
No, I was just making sure that you gave people.
Like, we've only been friends for like how many years? So like, oh, that's you.
No, I haven't.
Looking for you.
But I'm just like, just to say, follow me on Twitter, follow Mike on, and people like, okay, what do I put in?
I know. You want to go?
I don't know what to put in.
Go back and list those things down, because I definitely expect you to go and follow all of us on our respective social media accounts, the ones that we like, our preferences that we like to use.
I don't care.
Why else are they gonna keep up with the show, my man?
Mike doesn't care.
Neither do I.
Follow me on fucking.
Right.
I do care, because I want to get the fuck out of my job.
I care about all you folks out there listening in, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for listening every week.
I care about the folks. I don't care about.
No, you said it already, Mike. You don't care about the folks at all. You care about is your applications. I don't know what that means. Mike's tech savvy, and I make him pay for it. The bottom line is, go check out the Distant Soundwaves playlist. There's going to be all the songs that we talked about, in case you were interested in any of them, and we will post it on our Facebook page for Your Spaceship. Another thing to go to, but I'll tweet it out, and we'll all share it on all media. Find us somewhere, and you'll find it. Okay. This is the worst outro I've ever done in history. This is about as bad as the time I done this.
It's almost as long as the actual show.
This is like as bad as the sick episode. Whenever I was really sick and done an episode, this is the tired episode. Sleepy Spaniard, and that's what I'm gonna call it, so we get the fans from Spain over.
Sleepy Spaniard.
So if you,
that's why the podcast has went on so long, really, isn't it? You've been stalling that whole time while you thought of what you were gonna like shoehorn Spain into the title.
I had no good name, but this one's called Sleepy Spaniard, and you've listened to the whole episode being like, why is it called Sleepy Spaniard? And now you know.
Right,
and it's nothing. Right, okay, see you later, bye guys. Bye. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We appreciate every single one. I love you.